Thank you for joining LA2M this glorious sunny afternoon. I am Dee Davey, and I'm filling in for Derek Maribon, founder of LA2M. Just a show of hands, who is here for the first time? Who's joining us? Several people. Thank you, and welcome to LA2M. The format that we've been using over the last 4 years or so is we invite a speaker to talk on a topic of marketing, business, or sales, or personal development. The speaker will talk for about 30 minutes, and then we will open up to questions and answers. Before we close the meeting, however, we will pass the mic and invite you to introduce yourself, your name, your business, or what you're looking for. But before we get started, a few announcements. We would like to thank our April LA2M e-news sponsor, Get Downtown. Get Downtown is a community program in conjunction with the Ann Arbor Transport Authority, the City of Ann Arbor, and the Ann Arbor Development Authority. And it's all about finding easy and green and fun ways of getting into Ann Arbor. And if I could ask Nancy Stone to step up and say a few words about the program and about the particular challenge.
Thanks, Steve. Hey, I'm Nancy Shore from the Get Downtown program, and it is getting close to May, which means it's almost commuter challenge time. And who here has participated in the commuter challenge in the past? Raise your hand. Yay, so we got a lot of new people too. So if you don't know what it is, this is a fun, free commuting competition that happens in May. Anybody who works in the Ann Arbor area can participate. It's an online competition to try to get you to try a different commute for the month of May. If you like saving money, if you like getting fit, if you like free ice cream, if you like prizes, this is for you. If you like competition, if you have a business that you're a rival with and you want to compete with them, this is something you can do as well. All you have to do is go to our website, commuter.getdowntown.org. There's online registration. The whole challenge is done online. There's all kinds of cool stats that you'll see as you participate. And everybody that logs just one commute in the month of May, walk, bike, bus, moped, telecommute, carpool, you get a free ice cream coupon to the Washtenaw Dairy. And the grand prize this year is a Amazon Kindle. One person who logs at least one commute will be entered in for an Amazon Kindle. And there's all sorts of other good prizes. We're doing all kinds of things for the month of May. And again, that's when gas prices are going to hit their peak, so this might be something that you want to try and see if you like it. If you want more information, I'm going to be here at the table at the end of the program here. If you want any information on commuting in Ann Arbor, I can help you out. And again, the commuter challenge is at commuter.getdowntown.org. Thanks.
Thank you, Nancy. LA2M itself is a nonprofit, and we do things in the traditional way. We don't ask for registrations or memberships to become a member of or to be a part of LA2M. You just turn up and enjoy. But we do pass the hat and ask for a suggested donation of $3. That's totally optional, and that money goes to pay our actual operating costs. And from June onwards, we will be officially promoting a scholarship program propelling young students into the arena of marketing and advertising. So LA2M will be actively sponsoring the Ann Arbor Public Schools Education Foundation. So if you would like to give generously, that would be most welcome. If not, that's okay too. Thank you, Stacy, our treasurer from Dollar Bill Copying, who's just passing the bucket as we speak. We also have one other special announcement today. We normally don't promote other organizations or nonprofits or charitable venues because of a limit of time. But this one is pretty special, and we'd like to invite Abigail to come to the mic. She is having her golden locks shaven off in the name of
St. Baldrick's organization. It is an organization that provides grants, research grants, to find cures for childhood cancer. And I actually took a bet last week but I couldn't get $2,500 worth of verbal commitments in 48 hours. I lost the bet. So I officially am going to have my locks shorn on April 29th. And I have been signed up now with an actual profile to donate for less than a week and raise $3,600. Pretty much due to my awesome Facebook contacts who've been very generous. But I'm exhausting that really fast. And I'm asking for any kind of extra donation anyone can give. I will put in any cash amount that I've collected today and say Friends of LA2M. But if you'd be interested or willing and able to donate a little bit more, I'm going to pass the wig. And you could throw in your business card and I will send you an email with an actual link to the website where you can see my page, you know it's legit, and see some other photos of me with my long hair. I'm also doing this with my brother, which is pretty awesome. So we'll be like with all siblings 1 month from now. So I'm going to pass the wig, and again, any donation, $1, anything you have to give, I'm very thankful for. And thank you. And the link is rather long and nasty, so it's not something I can tell you to find. I'll just shoot you an email if you put your card in here. Okay, thanks so much.
Thank you, Abigail. And this is a great example of how digital marketing can help not only us in our business, but in our personal pursuits as well. And on the subject of marketing, we have with us today Greg Peters. Greg is a long-standing joiner of LA2M. Greg's going to be talking about networking from a different perspective. And that's really how to use the referrals that you meet through your networks. But not just for business, but also to help one another personally and professionally. And Abigail here is just an example of how our networks are helping one another. So, Greg, over to you.
Thank you. Yes, my name is Greg Peters. I am the founder of The Reluctant Networker. I have a confession to make. I'm a nerd. Yes, that's me dressed up as the webmaster. Superhero extraordinaire. Prior to starting to teach, many of you know me, and you know that prior to starting to teach people about good networking practice, I was a computer programmer, a web developer. And if you know very many computer programmers, you know that if we're feeling particularly extroverted, we're looking at your shoes when we're talking to you. I did get my degree in software engineering, which at the time was a fancy way of saying computer programmer. But I didn't go to school to be a computer programmer. No, that was way too cool for me. I went to college to become a mathematician. Now, if there's any group that makes computer programmers look like social butterflies, it's the mathematicians. You know one, right? But for me, the nerddom did not start there. To go there, you have to go back to when I was 10 years old, my birthday, where my mom sent me down that dark path. She gave me my first science fiction novel, Edgar Rice Burroughs, A Princess of Mars. And I have been a lost soul since that day. I am still a science fiction fan. If you happen to run into me over Labor Day weekend, we are down in Atlanta, Georgia, for the Dragon Con Science Fiction Convention. Just me and 46,000 of my best friends rocking out with Captain Kirk and the Incredible Hulk. Now, I'm not telling you this just so you can laugh at me. Although, I'm telling you this so that when you say to me that walking into that networking event feels like you're walking into your first junior high school dance. When you say that picking up that telephone to make the call feels like you're lifting a 50-pound barbell. And when you say that small talk is only slightly preferable to a root canal, I can tell you that I understand. I have been there. I've made every mistake in both. But I'm also telling you that I'm not letting you off the hook. If An ex-computer programmer, mathematician, science fiction nerd can learn this stuff, and so can you. So in the next 30 minutes, you'll pick up some of the tools to help you get your network to start paying back a little bit without destroying the connections which make it strong. Before we move on, though, I'd like everybody to take out their business card. Take out your business card, and on the back of it, write the letters R-S-T. R-S-T. Now I know you're all fumbling, trying not to drop it into the box T and into the french fries. It's not a rush, just R-S-T on the back of your business card. All right. So I'll tell you why you're doing this crazy thing in a little bit. So moving on, let's talk about, I got you covered. Fancy one. So let's start out with talking about the most common mistake that most people make when asking something from their network. Who here has a birthday coming up? Raise your hand if you have a birthday coming up. Okay, who likes, of those people who have a birthday coming up, who likes cake? Okay, who has a birthday and likes cake and is willing to play along and do a little bit of acting? Okay, no one? All right, Bob. Bob's going to help me out. Thank you, Bob. All right, Bob. You say you like cake, right?
Yeah.
What is your favorite kind of cake? This is your special birthday cake, the cake you want for your special birthday. What was that? Strawberry cake. Okay. Do you like icing on that?
Yeah.
Vanilla, chocolate, strawberry icing? Vanilla? Okay. Do you like the roses on top? Okay. How about, is a filling in it? Maybe a raspberry or strawberry filling inside? That sounds good. So Bob's got a fairly, it's a fairly detailed cake of what he likes, right? But Bob's not going to tell people that. All Bob's going to say is, make me a birthday cake, please. This is part of that acting thing I was talking about. There you go. Make me a birthday cake, please. So Bob goes out to everyone he meets. Friends, family, strangers walking down the street, and he says, there you go. Now, most of them look at him as if he's nuts. But there are going to be some who want to help out, right? So they say, Bob, what kind of birthday cake do you want? Bob does not tell them, however, all that specific stuff that he wants. All he says is, there you go. A lot of those people who wanted to help, they're going to just give up in disgust because they're not going to put the effort in to make a cake if Bob's not going to like it. But you might have one or two who are willing to actually go out on the edge and make a cake. They're going to guess. And let's face it, strawberry not being one of the more common cake flavors, they're probably not going to get it right. So Bob's going to get a cake, but it may not be the one he wants. If he'd been specific in what he was asking for, he might have gotten exactly what he wanted. And this is the mistake that people make with asking their referrals, or they're asking their networks for anything. They're not specific enough. So I'll say happy birthday to Bob. Happy birthday, Bob. Now, I have things to give away. Unfortunately, I cannot go past this point. Otherwise, you'll get a nasty feedback sound. So Dee, if you will help me out. Thank you. Happy birthday, Bob.
Thank you.
We need to be specific about what we want. We need to know it, and we need to be very exacting in what we're saying to our network. When someone wants to help us, here's the reason why. The person who's offering to help, they've got their own life. They've got their own business to run. They've got their family to take care of. They don't have time to try and figure out how to help you. They can't be Kreskin. They're not going to read your mind. So we need to help them out as much as possible so that they can help us. And that means we need to be specific. So if we're asking for a referral, we need to know our target market. And by the way, our target market is not anybody who's got money who wants our stuff. Okay? We need to be a little bit more specific than that. We need to tell them, okay, if it's a company, how big is the company? Where is it located? If it's a family, how many people are in the family? Where do they live? Do they rent? Do they own? The better we're able to describe that, the more likely it is that the other person's going to be willing to help. And it doesn't stop there. I mean, when we ask something of our network, referrals are only one possible ask. We can ask for advice. We can ask for mentors. One of the things I often ask for is speaking engagements. Now, if I walked up to my network, someone offered to help me out, and I said, I'm looking for a speaking engagement. Then by those specifications, I wouldn't care if I'm speaking in an arena of 50,000 people or haranguing passersby in the public park. There would be no difference. And by the way, that is not part of my business model, all right? If I'm going to be specific, if I'm going to be serious about this, I would say probably something to the effect of, I am looking for speaking engagements in front of local chapters of national associations which support small businesses or individual entrepreneurs. That's a little more specific and more likely to get a result. Writing opportunities, same thing. Advice and recommendations, same thing. We need to be specific. Looking for networking groups. Who do you want to meet? You want to make sure that that networking group that you're going to is going to be useful to you. If it's not supporting that group, then there's no reason for you to go. So this gives us the what we want. By asking more specifically, we're more likely to get it. Now there's an added benefit to this. By asking for what we want, by knowing what we want, we'll know who to ask. Now this who kind of breaks into two parts. And the first part is just the object that we're asking for. We need to make sure that the person we're going to make the ask of can actually help us. Now, for an example, suppose I want to borrow a car so I can take my lovely wife out to a nice dinner out in the town. That being the case, I'm probably not going to talk to this guy. My wife loves me a lot, right, honey? But I'm reasonably certain I can't convince her that this is nice night out on the town vehicle. And by the same token, if I want to head over to the drop-off center and pick up a load of mulch, probably this guy isn't going to be willing to help me out either. So we need to make sure that what we're asking for, the people can actually help us. Now the second part of this is not just the object, but there's always, whenever someone wants to help us out, there's a perceived level of effort and risk. And we need to make sure that that's appropriate. Raise your hand if you have a car. Okay, of those people, raise your hand if you have a nice car that you like and are willing to play along. Bob, you already played along. Go back up. What's your name?
Jim.
Jim, let's suppose you and I just met in a networking event. I know it's a stretch. We've been chatting for 5 or 10 minutes. And we're really getting along. You're sensing the beginnings of a potentially strong connection, right? And I stop the conversation. I say, Jim, what kind of car do you drive?
Dodge Charger.
Dodge Charger. That sounds like a nice car.
It is a very nice car.
Jim, I'm going to be heading down to Toledo tonight. Can I borrow your car? Jim,
I'm sorry, what's your name?
Exactly. Jim, does that make you feel a little uncomfortable?
A little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you only met me 10 minutes ago. Jim, are there people in your life that you would lend your car to?
Yes.
Okay, and probably their family or close friends that you've probably known for years?
Sure.
Yeah. What I did was ask beyond the level of the relationship. In fact, probably what I did was destroy a potential relationship. I mean, Jim now looks at me like, okay, yeah, steer clear of him. Okay, Jim, are you ready for the big question now? It's not a trick question, it's just an important one. Jim, which do you value more? Your car or your reputation?
My reputation.
Oh, thank you. I like it when they answer right away because sometimes they actually, I don't know, it's a nice car.
It's a nice car, though.
It's a nice car. Well, you know, of course, we always would value our reputation over any material object, right? So, here's the thing. If Jim is unwilling to lend me his car after a 10-minute conversation, why would I think he'd be willing to lend me his reputation? Because a referral is exactly that. Someone is lending you their reputation. If you mess it up, you're making them look bad too. So we need to be aware when we're asking the other person what the level of that relationship is. And I created a little bit of an acronym, the art of the ask, or the art of networking. The A stands for awareness. We just met. We know each other's name and probably the business name, and each other's opinion of the weather, probably. At this level, we really can't ask for much. They don't know us. They don't trust us. About the only thing we can ask for is, would you like to go out and have a coffee and continue this conversation? And that's the whole point of these one-to-ones, is to continue the conversation. Now, we would step it up. The whole idea of going out, and I do a workshop on what you do at those coffees, is to step it up into the relationship development level. And I break this up actually into 3 sections. I would have called it A-R-R-R-T, but then it would be the art of networking, and you can only say it on the National Speak Like a Pirate Day, so we're going to go with just art. At the R1 level, we've met once for coffee. We found out a little bit more about each other. We know maybe a little bit more about, maybe they're married, they have kids, what their favorite vacation spot is, maybe how they got to where they are, but still it's not very deep. We have enough knowledge to start looking out for them in a passive way. Oh, they're interested in alpine chainsaw juggling, and I heard that convention's coming to town. So we can pass that information along. We can't ask for much beyond advice and recommendations at this point. They just don't know us very well. So what we need to do is continue meeting, continuing developing the relationship, get it up to the R2 level. Now at R2, we definitely know a little bit more about each other. We probably become more connected with regards to our families. We can actually at this point start, when they offer to help, we can start asking them to connect us with members of their network, but it's probably not going to be the critical members of the network. Not the people that they depend on for their livelihood. Probably not their mom, but you know, other people who are also sort of at that R1 level. We're going to continue working on this relationship. It's going to develop. We're going to start talking regularly, and eventually we're going to get to the R3 level. At the R3 level, then we're pretty close. We know not only about their family and their business, but what challenges that they're running into, what challenges they're expecting to run into in the future. We're starting to actively look for opportunities for each other, both just opportunities of interest, but also referrals that we can pass along. Actively looking. And at this point, when someone asks you how they can help, at R3, you can ask for a lot. You can ask for an introduction to almost anyone in their network. They would probably be willing to introduce you to their mom, because at this point we've established enough trust and enough. We've basically proven ourselves. Now the final level is the trust level. At trust, anything goes almost. We've established ourselves, we're practically family. At this point, we don't even have to wait for them to offer to help, because we've been there for each other for so much that we can just say, hey, I need some help, and it's understood that it's okay. It's also understood that if I lend you my reputation, I don't have to worry a bit about it being abused. Everything is just, it's like we're partners in a business at that point. We implicitly trust each other. So what we need to do is develop those relationships, and I will warn you, you cannot take every single relationship to trust. It's not possible. As you go up those levels, it becomes more and more time consuming because you're having to be more and more active in developing and maintaining that relationship. And that's okay. You don't need a lot of people in your trust circle to start getting a lot of benefit out of it. So this is the who. We did the what and the who. Next is the how. This sometimes makes people a little uncomfortable having to actually ask for help. So what I say is what we need to do is kind of break it down. We're going to do a little bit of prep work. We're going to be meeting with people, and there's a good chance that someone's going to ask us how they can help. The best thing to do is be prepared. I have a list of things that we need help on. But we also need to be aware of that depth of the relationship. If you think of the depth of the relationship like a body of water, and the ask that we're going to have is the boat that we want to float in it. If you just met someone, this is pretty much the depth of the relationship. It's a puddle on the side of a hill. That's okay. That's something we can build on. But if your ask looks something like this, I can pretty much guarantee that it's not going to work out for you. That boat is not going to float. And there's a good chance it's going to be a catastrophe. You're going to end up destroying that relationship. At the same time, though, if you're going to be meeting with someone who you've known for 20 years, who's always looked out for you, who's actively looked for referrals, well then, that's what your relationship is. That's how deep it is. And if you are asking for this, well, they're not going to be insulted, because of course they're willing to help out. But you're also missing out on a big opportunity, aren't you? So what we need to do is sort of tailor our ask to the people that we're going to be meeting with. And that's going to be both for the level of risk and effort and for the object that we are seeking. So for example, if I'm going to be asking for, say my target market is people in the legal profession. And the person I'm going to be meeting with, they don't know any lawyers because they're fairly scarce out there. But let's say, for example, they don't know any lawyers. Well, what I might ask them for instead is, do you belong to a networking group where lawyers sometimes show up? Would you be willing to invite me as a friend, as a guest? And by the same token, we can also adjust our ask based upon the risk involved. If I'm asking for introductions to lawyers, and I know someone really well, they're up at that T level, then it's okay to say, would you be willing to make a personal introduction? Can we get together over coffee, all three of us, and then you introduce them to me, and vice versa, and you make it seem like it's a really good idea to know me. That's okay. Now, if I don't know them, if I'm only at an R1 level, that's probably a little much to ask. But what I could say instead is, do you have any advice on networking groups that might have lawyers in it? It changes the level of the ask by just changing it from a personal introduction to advice. And you can, there's a sliding scale, so a personal introduction is certainly at the top. And I would say a warm call is right under that. Calling them up and say, hey, I'd like to talk to my buddy Greg Peters, he's got some good information. And then below that, sort of that E introduction thing, it's relatively low effort, relatively low risk. And then we go down into the advice, and then into the, hey, you want to meet for coffee so we can even find out anything about each other? So we want to adjust our asks to fit the person we're going to be meeting with. And the best thing to do is to make sure you have some of these kind of in your pocket so that you know what you can ask. Now, let's get back to the actual how do you do it. I personally feel uncomfortable, especially with someone that's only like, let's say, the R2 level, just saying, do you know how you could help me? I mean, it feels a little needy, a little uncomfortable. So what I do is I get them to ask me how they would like to help. It's a Jedi mind trick. Well, it's not so much a trick, it's using the concept of reciprocity. And I will warn you, it must be done with sincerity. What's the best way to get someone else to ask how they can help me? Ask how I can help them, right? It basically creates a little imbalance in the relationship, and as a result, they want to address that. So they're going to ask back. But we have to do it with sincerity. We have to be, we have to actually care about them. We have to actually want to help. Because if we don't, that's kind of being a, you know, a user, a manipulator. And the other thing, while that's a good way to get them to ask, what's the best way to actually get them to act?
Follow through.
What was that?
Follow through.
Follow through, that's right. You help them first. We have to be willing to help and serve that other person without expectation of immediate results. The results will happen, but it does take time. And quite often, by the time you build it up over that time, it starts, I mean, it's like turning on the fire hose. But we have to be sincere and do this with integrity and respect for the other person. We have to actually care about them, which is what networking is about. So that's how we do the ask. Now, of course, when you get to the point where you're at the T level, then it's just you're sitting down coffee and say, hey, Bob, the reason I'm sitting down with you is because I had some problems. I was wondering if you'd be willing to help. And someone who's at that level can say, of course, whatever you need. Right? Right, Bob, you'd help me out, wouldn't you? Okay. Then we come to the afterwards. Suppose they actually have delivered. It can happen, trust me. We need to make sure we follow up with them. We need to give them feedback. You know, several things might have happened. One, it might have been a bad fit. They may have given us a chocolate cake when we were looking for strawberry. Now, it's important that we do follow up with this because they probably put some effort into making that referral. So we need to sit down with them and say, you know what, I really appreciate it. I thank you so much for giving me that referral. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. It really wasn't quite right for me. And here's kind of why, this is what happened. I hope you'll still be willing to refer things to me in the future. I just didn't want you to waste your time going to all that effort because I know it's a lot of effort. I don't want you to waste your time with things that aren't quite a good fit. Most people, would anybody, if someone sat down with you and told you that, would you be upset? Would you walk off in a huff? Raise your hand if you walk off in a huff. Would you still be willing? Raise your hand if you'd still be willing to pass referrals to someone like that. Well, it's nice to know half of you would still be willing to pass. I guess the rest of you are still eating, that's okay. Now, the next thing that could happen is it's a great fit, but it just didn't work out. You know, for whatever reason, the referral they gave you, it was a project, you'd love to work on it, but the client went the other way. We still need to follow up. We still need to thank them. We still need to show appreciation. And the cool thing happens is, if you tell them it didn't work out, every once in a while, they're going to go back for us. And they might change the outcome. So let them know what happened. Now, of course, the best thing that happens is it's a good fit and it's an out-of-the-park home run. Now, then it's really important that we follow up. Let them know, thank you so much, this was awesome. And this gets into the point of reward. Now, this is a fairly personal choice as to how you can reward your networking connections, the people who refer to you. Now, personally, of course, you're at least going to say thank you. Maybe take them out to lunch. Maybe a small gift. Depends on what you're doing. I mean, I've known some people that they actually send people to, say, Chicago. Were you one of the people? Is it?
Oh, yeah, it was on my list.
What's that?
It was on my list to do.
Okay, I'll just go to Chicago. So you have to find that person that you can refer to send to Chicago, right? Okay. But it has to be your choice. It's not an expected thing. Or it might be money. Sometimes people will do sort of a kickback. But what I like to be careful of is that it's not just a payment. It's not an expected. It is a gift. It is a thank you. If it's a payment, then it sort of muddies the whole relationship. If I paid you for a referral, then I'm not as comfortable of referring to you because, in a way, we've completed that relationship. The reciprocity has been fulfilled, right? So we talked about the what, be specific. We talked about the who, can they help and are they willing to help. And we talked about the how, prepare and reward. So these are just some of the tools that are going to help you work it out. We now have time for a few questions. 2 or 3 questions that you might have about networking and making the ask. And then I'll tell you about that whole RST thing.
Thank you. Hi. My name is Carmen Quigg.
Hi, Tom.
What is your question, Carmen?
Okay, so my question is, I work for an office where I many times have to put together community events, community forums, town hall meetings, etc. So this is a situation that happened to me a couple of years ago where I was looking for presenters, and my direct supervisor wanted me to get a presenter from a very specific organization. So this is a little bit different because it wasn't a personal relationship that I had per se, but there was somebody in that organization that I knew. So I went directly to that person. And again, this was instructions from my supervisor. After a few phone calls over about a week and a half, I think I probably called twice, and then they wanted me to make a 3rd phone call, I wasn't getting a response. And so I was just curious to see what your recommendation would have been for me in that situation where I was instructed to make this ask and get somebody to our event, but I wasn't getting a response, even though I knew the person. Maybe they weren't the right person to handle this ask, and I even said that, I think, on my 3rd call. If you can direct me to somebody else in your organization, or at least let me know if it's not a good fit for your organization. Eventually I got somebody from their organization. Funny enough, I never talked to my original contact. My original contact had someone contact me. So I'm kind of 50-50. One, maybe it wasn't a good fit, but because I knew that person, they instructed one of their staff to contact me. Or B, maybe they were quite busy or it wasn't underneath their area of, area in the organization. But I still am a little unsettled by it, and especially if it was a task that was given to me. How do I handle that?
Well, I mean, where would you say that this contact was on the ARC scale?
I think that definitely an R.
Was it R1, R2?
Probably R2.
Okay.
Yeah, probably R2. That's why I was unsure of why they weren't getting back to me.
They're just being mean.
I'm sorry. Yeah, just
No, I
being
mean, yes, I think they may just have been busy. It may have been something they didn't feel like they could help with, and so they kept putting it off. There can be a variety of reasons. It's kind of hard to say from this point. But I think one of the things it sounds like you said, well, if you can't help me, maybe someone else can. You modified your ask. I think what you did was perfectly appropriate. The only thing you might have tried was mixing the mechanism that you tried. Maybe email for one, phone call for another. Some people respond in different ways to different mechanisms.
Right. I felt like I would have given up a little sooner if it hadn't been my my supervisor who was persistent, you know, because I started to get into that uncomfortable area about, okay,
You start feeling like you're over asking.
yeah, and so I don't know if what you said,
No,
maybe I ruined the relationship. You know, I just am not sure how to read it.
Did you follow up with them?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Certainly, you know, I formed a relationship with the person who did come to the event. We followed up with thank you letters. And yeah, and I haven't seen that person since, but we just haven't been in the same place.
But yeah, I would definitely follow up and sort of just try and re-cement the relationship just to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we have another question? I would like to put a question out to the group, if I may, Greg, and then get Greg's feedback on that. Are there any examples that anyone in the LA2M crowd today can give of where a referral network worked out really well, either for you or for somebody else? Can we share an example?
Yeah, I think a referral network that works really well for me is I belong to something called BNI. And it's really based around this trust. You meet them every week. You get to know them. You get to hear, they give testimonials of you around the tape, you know, around the meeting. And I think that really builds towards that. And it's been it's at least 20% of my business. So it really pays off. I think what to your point is, it takes time. You need to build trust. You can't just walk into a room and say, hi, I want something from you right away. Or even, I'll give you something right away if you give me something back. You know, that's
Careful that transactional
yeah.
behavior. Yeah.
So I find that really works out well for my business.
Thank you, Doug. Hi, Ms.
Okay, no feedback, great. I'm Leslie McGraw, Let's Go In. One way that it's worked out really well is I work with Arbor, intern with them, and so I was, from the door, I was given an assignment to work on education. And so I was doing all these interviews for an investigative reporting series. And one of the ladies that worked there, she said, you sure are spending a lot of time on interviews, you know, what has come out of that? And I said that I have spent, you know, I've done 50 interviews, and out of those 50 people that I wanted to interview, I did 50 interviews, but only 10 of those interviews are people that I originally planned to interview. It was the referrals, people saying, well, I know a little bit about this piece of the puzzle, because I'm trying to do like the last 40 years and student achievement. And so I know about this piece, but you know what, I remember there was this guy that used to be really, you know, really involved in this, and he headed up this and that. And so recently it's come back to, you know, like my editor and such that, oh wow, this was an interesting perspective, but it was those second and third deep in interviews that really brought about the bigger perspective.
That's excellent. I mean, the strength of, quite often when you are introduced or recommended to someone else, even if you didn't know them particularly well, they were just willing to help you out by introducing you, you suddenly get their stature. You know, suddenly people want to connect with you because someone said you want to talk to them. So that's a perfect example of making use of that extended network.
We've run out of time for questions. Greg, do you have any closing comments to make?
I do have one more thing, the RST thing. If you didn't get a chance to ask a question, your head, something that pops into your head, just circle the R and I will contact you. You're requesting a contact. I do speak on occasion in front of groups, and you kind of heard what the kind of groups I speak in front of. So if you are a member of one of those and you think my message would resonate with them, please circle S or potential speaking engagement. Also, I know that a half an hour is not enough time to change anyone's mind about anything. I have a free 52-week audio training. Once a week you get a 1 or 2 minute audio spot to listen to good networking tips. So if you want to just circle the T, I'll sign you up for the networking tips. And what we'll do is a little drawing up here. If you want to win, I'm actually giving away with a CD and a free hour of consulting, no strings attached. And If you just want to win, you don't have to circle anything. I'll leave you alone. I won't even contact you. All right? So go ahead and do those circles. You can circle more than one and then pass it in and we'll do the drawing. While you're doing that, I want to leave you with one final thought. Today we talked about the tools to help make your network pay off. But at the base of it, networking kind of boils down to 2 words. So that. We are building this resource. One of us is, yeah. We are building this resource so that we can build our businesses. So that we can find a job. So that we can support the nonprofit that is really a part of our passion. So I'm hoping you'll take these tools, go out and use them so that you can create a life of success and significance. Thank you.
Some fantastic information, some great tips. Greg, are you going to pass your box around to collect business cards? And then we'll do introductions, and then before we leave, we'll make the drawing. So in making your introduction, please stand up, give your name, your ask, or your business, or a few brief words about who you are. Joel, would you start us off?
Hi, my name is Joel Bergen. I'm with Dishfish, and what we do is turn charitable giving into spending power. So it used to be, or currently, if you have $1, you can decide to give it to a favorite organization, or you can decide to spend it on something you want or need. What we let you do is give that $1 to a favorite organization and get back a Dishfish $1 that you can spend to get a discount at a participating business. So if you have a business that wants to attract socially conscious consumers or belong to an organization that needs to raise funds and this sounds like a good idea, please come see me. Thanks. Joel Bergen with dishfish.com.
Hi, Karen Hesselberg, and we help local businesses connect.
My name is Greg Bentel. I'm with Spring Arbor University, and we specialize in helping working adults complete their bachelor's degree or who are interested in pursuing a graduate program. Many of our programs are online as well as face-to-face at a number of our satellite locations. We're always looking for adjunct instructors as well. Greg Bentel, Spring Arbor University.
Hey again, Abby Somark with Search Ad Marketing. I am a copywriter for Search Ad Marketing, and I also do freelance writing. And I would like to promote a pay-per-click workshop on May 1st. I don't know if you know about pay-per-click, but it's Megan McCann's workshop, and she helps small business owners and people who do their own pay-per-click, Google AdWords, and are trying to figure out how to navigate social media. She teaches them how to do that. And this month's pay-per-click club will be on landing page optimization for pay-per-click. So if you currently use pay-per-click and you have a high click-through rate but no results are coming of it, you'll want to be at this workshop. It's May 1st and it's in Livonia at the EMU building. It's from 6 to 9. If you want more information, you can see me afterwards or go to payperclickclub.com. First-time guests are free, and yeah, so thanks.
And Louis Meeks with Victory Tax Solutions. We help people with IRS tax debt around the country. And I use Abby. She writes a blog for us on a weekly basis. She does a great job, and I highly recommend her work if anyone's interested.
Hi, I'm Judy Bromberg. I'm with Bromberg & Associates, translation and interpretation company. We work in about 150 languages. So if you're having trouble communicating with your clients, patients, whoever it may be, domestically or internationally, see me. We have you covered in any language.
Hi, I'm Stacy from Dollar Bell Local Digital Print Shop. Hi, Nancy. How are you?
Good. Stacy does a lot of our printing.
Yeah. Do the commuter challenge because we don't have only 5 employees really, but a big company would have tons of fun doing it.
Thank you, Stacy. I'm Clara Trent with MX Design, and what we do is help small companies to stand out in the crowded marketplace. So we have discovered that about 90% of your prospective clients will go to your website and does it look like it should? Is it professional? And if it's not, come talk to me.
Hi, I'm Barb Davenport with the Ann Arbor Exciting Regional Chamber.
Hi, I'm Peter Ray, CEO of Arbor Scientific. I'm looking for a Magento programmer.
Hi, I'm Lisa Radwick, and I'm a marketing professional seeking new opportunities. My specialties are consumer product marketing, sales analysis, brand and art licensing, and customer relationship management.
Hi, I'm Scott Tager. I'm with Peak Performance Solutions, and I'm seeking any owners or people that can make connections for me. Company helps consulting and working with firms to improve business plans, operational plans, and set up supply chain management.
Hi everyone, I'm Kendra Kerr with Keller Williams Realty, and I've got some good news and some bad news. The good news is if you're selling your house, prices are rising. If you are a buyer, the bad news is prices are rising. So if you're interested in buying or selling a house, I would love to talk with you because we definitely have a shortage of property on the market. Again, Kendra Kerr with Keller Williams.
Denise Walter with Michigan Ability Partners, a small nonprofit located in Ann Arbor, and our mission is to support our veterans and disabled in finding them homes and shelter and education.
Claire Hughes, I'm a marketing, communications, and fundraising professional looking for project opportunities.
Hi, I'm Carmen Quigg. I told you a little bit about the types of work I do, but I do outreach and community and economic development to communities across Michigan. So I'm here just gaining tips on how to network with community key stakeholders in areas across Michigan.
Hi, I'm Leslie McGraw, and I have a startup called Let's Go, and I am trying to help people locally, entrepreneurs, small businesses, local businesses, get engaged with their online customers. As there's many people online that are right here in the city as there are nationwide, and I just help you do that through building a profile of your ideal customer, blogging, and other freelance opportunities. I don't have one cookie cutter thing. I sit and I talk with each person and decide where we'll go from there. So let's go. Thank you.
Hi, Amy Maynard with Technology Digital, and I'm a business analyst.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jim Uzio. Along with Amy, I'm with Technology Digital. We're a local company here in Ann Arbor that does web and mobile development. We look for companies who already have a website but would like to help move it towards the mobile. So if you have a company or you know a company that could use help moving their digital web strategy to mobile, we'd be happy to talk to you. Thanks.
Well, I'm Randy Moore, Blue Chip Service, and we have a cleaning service specializing in commercial cleaning in the Ann Arbor area. We go to about 3 states in this area: Indiana, Illinois, well, 4, Ohio, and Michigan. So we are looking to grow in the Ann Arbor area as well, specializing once again in commercial cleaning services. Randy Moore, Blue Chip Service.
Good afternoon. I'm Rich Austin, partner at Sandler Training in Ann Arbor. We're a sales and sales management consulting firm. We work with business owners who have a myriad of frustrations around sales. So if you hate the sales aspect of your business, it's okay. Come talk to us. Thanks.
Hello, my name is Kelly. I own an on-site chair massage business. We go to local businesses here and provide our services for customer appreciation programs, wellness programs. So if you're looking for a fun, healthy element to add to your company, come talk to me. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is T. Rose of Financial Pathways, and I'm a public speaker. I help people find money that's slipping through the cracks.
Hi, my name is Terry Apparelski, and I'm a consultant with Rodan and Fields, and they're the doctors that created a corrective solution, and we are helping people get the greatest skin of their lives.
Hi, I'm Nikki Dusek, and I'm hosting WordPress DIY, which starts tomorrow. It's tomorrow and Friday at Weber's, and it's a 2-day conference and mini workshop where we will learn the fundamentals of web development and digital marketing because they go hand in hand. So, yeah, register that.
Hi, I'm Ross Johnson with 3.7 Design, which is a web design and online marketing company. And I'll be helping people tomorrow design and build their own website at the workshop. So if you need a low-cost way to get a website started, make sure to register.
My name is Greg Boyle. I'm with Bloom Roofing Systems, and we specialize in commercial roof replacement and repairs, and we keep your ceiling tiles from getting water stained.
Hello, my name is Chris Carlisle, and I had over 20 years of experience in the building industry, and like to looking for an opportunity to use my skills in operations and management to further my career. Thank you.
I'm Bob Shannon. I've got my own CPA firm in Chelsea, and I specialize in helping small businesses with financial record keeping, as well as their tax planning, audit defense, and so forth.
Good afternoon. My name is Dan Ryan. I'm the local sales rep for Stallbley Corporation. We sell quick connects. I do automotive, I do labs, and so I'm looking to network in those areas.
Hello, my name is Elizabeth Peters. I'm with the Astilbe Group here in Ann Arbor, and we help technology companies get business contracts with the federal government. And once they win the contract, we help them maintain it so that they can have continued business.
Hi, I'm Julie Mosley, a recent MBA graduate with financial services experience, and I'm seeking new opportunities.
Hi, I'm Robert Baxtresser with Arbor Software. We help you go mobile with apps for tablets and smartphones.
Dave Cosio, also with Arbor. We've been doing mobile since before anyone knew what mobile meant, and we've worked on multi-million-dollar apps and small apps. If you've got a mobile project, or if you need a mobile strategy, we can help.
Hi, my name is Doug. I'm with Blue Note. We help small businesses and nonprofits. I'm here also on behalf of Toastmasters. If you ever like an opportunity to practice and improve your public speaking skills, think of Toastmasters.
I'm Bill Denning. I'm a technical writer. I create traditional and electronic documentation for software, telecommunications, and other industries. I'd be happy to talk to anyone about small or large projects you might need.
Hi, I'm Bob. My company's Bob Ferran Photography, and I do creative photography in the advertising and corporate industries around Southeast Michigan.
Hi, my name is Janet. I work at the University of Michigan, and I've been there for 16 years in medical research, working with rats and mice. And so out of that, I've come up with several of my own inventions and started a small business and have been working on developing and turning those into products. And most recently, I've started volunteering at a horse sanctuary and rescue called Starry Skies on Liberty in Ann Arbor.
Hi, I'm Mike Wynn with Sandwich Training here in Ann Arbor, and I've got a strawberry cake ask for you guys. So we're part of an organization. Fresh or frozen. We're part of an organization that has a very specialized person that we're looking for a bi-monthly networking activity. We have a breakfast every other month for CEOs and presidents of companies of at least $2 million that service large manufacturers. They get to hear a large manufacturer come in and speak about how to sell to large manufacturers, and we work on how they can be better chief sales officers of their organization. So if you know anybody that's a CEO, president of a $2 million plus company that serves large manufacturers, please let me know.
Hi, I'm Dennis Supinski, and I do sales and marketing. I also help Roger out with the video here.
Yeah, I'm Roger Rayle. What do I do today? I'm doing this video. I'm doing D-New-Tech tonight. I'm also just attending North by Midwest tomorrow. Anybody else here know what that is? North by Midwest. It's a startup activity on East U, I guess. Just look for NXM. Did I say North by Midwest? Yeah, NXMW.
My name is Doug King. I'm with Pro Energy Consultants. I'm an energy specialist consultant and Energy Star partner, and I help homeowners and small business owners become more energy efficient and understand all the ways that they can make their building more energy efficient. And I also help them through, all the utilities have rebate programs for both commercial and residential, and I help them through that process as well. And just a side note, like I said earlier, my business networking group is looking for more people. If you're interested in joining one, please see me after this. I'd love to talk to you about my business networking. It really does work really well for my own business.
Hi, I'm Bud Gibson. I started the search marketing program at Eastern Michigan University, and our students do it all, from helping you acquire visitors to turning those visitors into leads and customers. So talk to me if you have some interest.
Hi, I'm Mary Lou Olds. I'm the manager for LA2M. We had a great speaker today, and we're looking for more great speakers on the topics of marketing and business. So if you speak on those topics, or if you know someone that speaks on those topics, I'd love to hear from you on that. I'm also a freelance writer. I currently write for AnnArbor.com, LA2M, and CEO Connect, newsletters, blogs, promotional writing, all kinds. So if you're looking for someone who fits those categories, talk to me about that as well. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Alicia Lippert from Tulips Graphics and Web Design.
And I'm Connie Lippert from Tulips Graphics and Web Design. We specialize in Joomla content management systems. So if you have a Joomla site and you need help with it, look us up. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Jane Donor. I'm a clinical social worker. I work in private practice with another therapist in town. We specialize in adult and children therapy and neurofeedback.
Hey there, I'm Nancy Shore from the Get Downtown program again, and if you're looking to save money, get fit, or have fun, we have the Commuter Challenge, commuter.getdowntown.org, and I've got flyers and other information over here if you want to get more information.
Hello, I'm Lindsay Blackwell. I'm the social media director at Ingenex Digital Marketing. So if you're interested in social media marketing or strategy, we can help.
Hi, I'm Carter Sherman from Quinn Studios, and I'm a commercial editorial and portrait photographer. I think Leslie's been helping me with my social media marketing. She's done a pretty good job. It's kind of taken off. Also, I put some Michigan runners out at the back, and they were runners, and they're senior photographer, and I bring a bunch.
I'm Dee Davey, Creative Ideas Marketing. I help companies who provide business-to-business services improve their revenues. Clients come to me when they want to grow their business, but they're not quite sure what to do. They may find that their customers are leaving, the competition is springing up, or they know that the world around them is changing and they need to do something differently. Dee Davey, Creative Ideas Marketing. I'm also the voice of Lunch Ann Arbor Marketing, and it's my pleasure to introduce next week's speaker. We have Tom Crawford coming to talk about mobile apps, and I really suggest that you get here early because mobile apps is one of those marketing trends that is just skyrocketing. Tom is going to take a strategic view of mobile apps and address the what, why, and for whom before you plunge into your mobile app development. So next week, Tom Crawford from Viz Networks talking about mobile apps. Before we close, I'd like to hand the mic over to Greg. Another round of applause for Greg. And final words from Greg and the draw.
Winner is Greg Bentel.
Excellent. And any final words from you, Greg, before we close?
Go out there and make some connections.
Thank you for joining LA2M. See you next week.
Hey, order.